Hey guys, it's Ben Hardy here, and the weather's not really cooperating today. It's actually pretty rainy and quite cold as well, but I've got a really neat one for you today. It's the JK Wrangler. This is the kind of last hurrah for the JK Wranglers before they bring out the JLs. And so they're doing quite a few special editions and everything with the Wrangler before they go into the new generation, where they're changing up the body style a little bit, but the biggest changes are coming into the interior for the latter part of 2018. So at the back side here we have the typical spare tire for the Wrangler. Trunk opens with the back door, and then you pull up the rear window. In the unlimited version, aka the 4-door, you do get quite a bit more space in the trunk back here. You get a little bit of storage under there, and these seats do fold down. 60-40 split back there. A lot of the Wranglers are packaged with a receiver hitch in the rear end. Coming around back here, you got the back seats, which if I step in here, legroom's a little bit tight, but you know, it's not bad at all. And the step-in height is pretty high because this is a Rubicon Wrangler, so it is a bit higher up off the ground. You can kind of see that it does have the more aggressive tires. And then coming around to the front, we can see these upgraded HID bulbs. And this particular Wrangler does have body colored on the fenders and then on the roof, whereas usually they're kind of like the black color that this bumper is. And over to the driver's side, you actually kind of have to pull on the doors pretty hard to get them to shut in these cars. Now what you heard there is the Wrangler's 3.6 liter V6, which we'll go over in a minute. But here are the window controls for the Wrangler, which are actually in the middle, oddly enough. You got the climate controls, you got the ventilation as well. You got a little glove box here. Center console, which is pretty deep actually, but it's not very wide. You got an outlet right there. This is the shifter for the different drive modes, so you know, 2-wheel drive versus 4-wheel drive versus the forward low. And then kind of tucked into right here, which is on the Rubicon, you get your sway bar disconnect and axle lock like we saw in the Power Wagon. And then you can get stuff like Bluetooth on this, you know, cruise control. And then you do get the little radio setup here. You can get an upgraded radio that's a little bit nicer than this one, but they haven't put the, you know, new 8.4-inch Uconnect into the Wranglers yet, but they'll most likely be coming into that new generation with the JLs. But we'll get more information on that later in this year, actually, when they fully release them. Now normally I don't show actually opening up the hood of a vehicle, but with Wranglers it's kind of unique. You got these latches on both sides, and then you do have a little traditional hood latch under there. Now looking under here, we have a 3.6 liter V6. This is the same engine that they use all across the line, so the engine that they use in the, you know, base model Durangos, Chargers, Challengers, Grand Cherokees, all that. So it's right around 300 horsepower, about just as much torque in the Wranglers. Fuel economy isn't great. You're going to be, you know, in the 20s, sometimes into the teens. Just depends on how lifted you have the Wrangler and how you're driving it and all that. Okay, so we're setting off here in the kind of last hurrah for the JK Wrangler. These last few Wranglers before they released the new JLs are kind of like the last of the last in terms of what it comes to, like with this body style, the JK body style that was released all the way back in 2007. And honestly, not a ton has changed since that body style, the JK body style, was released back in 2007. The actual outside appearance all looks pretty similar. The interior is pretty similar. The only thing that's really different is just the infotainment system. So kind of like the radio and all that, they can have some upgraded options now that they still aren't up to par with a lot of the rest of the line. So, you know, that big 8.4-inch screen that a lot of the other products get. But, you know, it's still a radio. They still give you a pretty nice radio with a lot of functions. This particular one doesn't really have that, but that's not why a lot of people get this vehicle. A lot of people get this vehicle because they like the looks of it, or, you know, they actually want to use it what it's meant for, so they want to actually use it to go off-roading and all that. And, you know, it's obviously great at both. I personally really like the looks of the Jeep Wrangler. It kind of has this, you know, classic feel to it and everything, versus, you know, a lot of other vehicles on the market that, you know, maybe they don't have the classic looks, but, and they can have, you know, some cool looks nowadays, but even though this look is older, it doesn't ever feel dated. It's got, you know, good get up and go and everything, so it's more than enough to get you around on a daily commute or something like that. But you know, other than that, I don't have a ton more to say about the engine, other than the fact that, you know, the fuel economy isn't the best, and so, you know, definitely take that into consideration. You know, when you're purchasing this vehicle, yeah, it's going to hold its value a lot better than other vehicles, but, you know, the fuel economy is going to be a little bit less. But overall, I mean, I honestly would look past that, especially with, you know, where gas prices are right now. And I'm just going to get a little bit of an acceleration here. Yeah, so that was about 40 miles an hour right there. And, you know, like I said, it's not incredibly fast or anything like that, but, you know, it's got more than enough get up and go for you. So another big thing with the Wranglers is actually the price point that a lot of them are at. These vehicles, you know, because of their popularity and everything, and, you know, what they are, they hold their value amazingly well. And so that's another thing to consider with purchasing a Wrangler is, you know, just the amount of money that you would have to put in to purchase one, because they are at a bit of a price premium. But then it's not like you're losing all that money, because, I mean, shoot, you put 1,000,000 miles on one of these and you run it into a couple walls and everything, and somehow it's still worth something, you know, you know what I mean? So it's one of those vehicles that's, you know, better to invest in, but it's definitely something to consider when purchasing one of these, is just the, you know, upfront price that you'd have to pay for one. So what are my overall impressions on the JK Wrangler? I think that it's, you know, a very beautiful vehicle, and, you know, with a 4-door variant of it, it's got more than enough space to, you know, haul around all the stuff that you need to haul around. It's got that receiver hitch, so if you need to put a little trailer on the back of it, it can do that too. And, you know, it's really good value for, you know, what you're getting. And obviously it holds its value a lot better than other vehicles. However, that being said, I am, you know, really excited to see the changes that are coming for the new JLs. I'm really excited to see the new interior, to see, you know, how upscale they're going to go on that vehicle, and different engine options, if they're just going to stick with, you know, I've heard rumors of them doing the diesel engine, maybe a turbocharged inline-4, and so it's kind of exciting to see if they're going to do a different engine option other than just the, you know, V6 that they've been doing for so many years. Thank you guys so much for watching. Again, that is the JK Wrangler right before they released the JLs for 2018. Please leave a like if you liked it. If you're stopping in for the first time, please subscribe, and I'll see all of you guys in that next video.